We're going to watch a clip now. Dick swab. Let's take a look. So great. So great. What do you remember about that scene?
Well, what strikes me about it now, I know this is before the second series, so we were all very new to it and terrified. Terrified of those lengths of pauses, actually. I wasn't sure that they'd play, but they do. But that, you know, I think the casting of Sandra is absolutely, you know, the axis of the whole thing. Because what it does is the scenes that we all know in British thrillers or comedies cannot be the same because of that accent. So it doesn't conform to the class system or to even the tiered system of the MI5 or MI6 or police or all of the things that we perform within these universes. And it's just, I think it just, you don't know what you're watching because there's an American in the middle of it. And who refuses to keep the rules of proprietariness that we are so good at and makes British drama so good, but this cuts across all the time. I think that's so refreshing.
I'm going to lead straight into this next clip, actually, because it's Jodie and Sharon, and it's extraordinary. This is Mirrors. What's on the page for that? What's on the script for that? And what's the conversations you have with the two of them about what they're internalising, what the scene's about?
I don't really have any conversations with them. But actually, well, Elinor was there then, and actually, what was on the page?
Basically, on the page was, you know, Villanelle looks in the mirror, starts to cry. You know, the cry turns into a smile. And with Eve, we've obviously followed her and capturing the ghost, and then she's about to interrogate him for the first time. And again, it's that thing that she's looking through this partition, mirrored partition, knows that Carolyn's watching her, and the sense of her preparing. And it's very much both of them, you know, moving forward in their, both in their relationship, but in their own characters. And that kind of complexity, because it was very deliberately not on the page to answer any of those questions. There was no, you know, finality about what it meant that Villanelle cries and then laughs. There was a sort of sense that she was going deeper into something, and for once she was feeling something. And with Eve, and obviously the journey in season 2 is that Eve goes darker. You know, that is a kind of a crucial moment where you think, is she, you know, crossing over into the bad? But those questions were the important thing. It's literally leaving it open so the audience comes back for the next episode, but also is really intrigued about where this journey is taking them. And I think that complexity and that unanswered question was very important to the show, to never try and pin it down and you know, understand it all. I think
there was definitely something in the Villanelle bit where she's, you know, she goes and she's crying, and then she's observing herself crying, and she's unused to that sort of level of emotion. And I think there was one moment where she also said she looked at herself, she realised she was crying, she realised how beautiful she was when she was crying. So, you know, that's really interesting as well. And Emerald was very good about writing that in there. And I think the Eve stuff as well is really fascinating, because that's almost her moment of, you know, she's growing and she's thinking, I'm built for this. This is what I was always meant to do. And we know it's actually heading.
It's not going to go well.
For a bad time.
The music as well, the choice of you know, and in the scene with Julian as well, that choice of track that you put in on there, it's brilliant choices of tunes. But that complemented with the score as well that you have as well in it. Was that an easy thing to decide on? Because it's quite unique as well in the way that you do it, I think.
Do you want to talk about David? Yeah.
Well, it's a source of endless debate, really, the music, and I think, you know, David Holmes just does an astonishing job with all the time, and you know, we're always saying to him, just be, you know, counterintuitive, just go against what you'd normally do. So most of the time we do that, and then very occasionally we score in a traditional way, and that then has added impact because you do that, and then we add in the sort of foreign elements, you know, the music from wherever we are, and as David would very happily tell you, he has the largest collection of music in the entire universe, and
not just in his brain as well.
Not just and he has a very large brain, but he's also got he does actually genuinely have and so he sort of curates the music, and he started off as our choice as the composer, but he's become music supervisor, and he has an influence on the music all the way across.
So did the directors.
Indeed.
So actually there was a track that Damon was incredibly keen to use, which is on that. Which is
when she comes out, because it's probably the only track in the whole 2 seasons that has a male vocal, I think.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it fitted so perfully, and so we did have a debate that went on for several weeks.
We weren't all in agreement on that.
Choice of words, debate.
Yeah. I think it was the only one I won.
It was a good win. It was good.
Yeah.
He was thrilled, the guy, wasn't he?
He's so happy, the guy, that he's sent us all vinyl of that. But I didn't. He'd actually sent Catherine vinyl. She sent it to us.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
We're going to watch one of your favourite scenes now, axe murder. I love the diversity of reactions from you all. You're like, that, can't watch it. You were like, I just wanted people to cheer when it happened. You're like, more. Yeah. I love it. What do you love about it so much?
I love it for where Villanelle has got Eve to. So I think it just feels like this sort of extraordinary, grand operatic moment between the two of them. So I like it for that. I like it for the messiness of it. So she doesn't go for the head. She goes for, most of us would do that. For Max murdering somebody for the first time, I think we'd probably miss. So I like the truthful humour of that. I love Jodie's performance. I think Sandra is hilariously brilliant in it. So, horrified but powerful. And Damon just shot it brilliantly.
Mm-hmm. No, they're so brilliant. And
Adrian Scarborough
again.
I've got children.
Dead. I know.
It's also the face he pulls when he's got an
he
axe.
does the kind of stroke eye, doesn't he?
Yeah,
it's a bit what's going on?
And what wasn't shown is also just at the end, as Jodie leaves, Villanelle leads Eve down the stairs. I got her just to this little look back, which is where she just takes utter pleasure from what she's managed to get Eve to do. And I think, so the scene, as you've just said, it just has all the bits of a proper action scene, but it's also funny.
It's very funny.
The whole not being able to get the axe out of the back. And they just perform it so well. I mean, they actually really enjoyed doing it, actually.
They had great fun.
It's sort of a good, fun scene to do.
How many times did you have to do it?
It took all day to shoot.
It was quite complicated, wasn't it?
Because he had to have a rig.
Break it down.
He had to have a rig which was in his back, so the axe had to be in his back. But that meant he had to have a special jacket with a hole in it, with the blood. And then every time, when she's pulling it out of his back, there's the axe rig in his back and then the separate axe. So she's got 2 axes so that she could slip back and have it in her hand. But he's actually still got the axe in his back.
There had to be lots of different passes for some different reasons. And
strip him down and put his other jacket back on with the hole in,
And we were just reminded there that there's a close-up on the hand twitching, which is actually one of the drivers.
Who had
Because Adrian had to go, so we found somebody who had the same kind of hands. And he was so proud because he did a little twitch of a finger.
What's, on a total sort of just personal thing, when Villeneuve's watching her and she gets splattered with blood as she's kind of going in again and again. How's that done? Someone just
she is. I had to have something that you could embed the axe into because you've got to have impact.
Yeah.
Because you've got to think that's got to stick in.
Yeah.
So I think it's Oasis. The thing you put flowers into.
Yeah. So it has enough.
And I created a sort of little kind of puddle in the top of blood so that when she does that, it kind of splashed.
Oh wow.
And then it embedded, and then also she had to pull it. It took a bit of effort to get out of it.
Fiona's going to be
Fiona's face. You got very pale.
I couldn't watch it the first time round. Yeah.
I think they experimented with different things. There was a melon, and there were lots of sort of soft fruits, and then you realise you just couldn't quite get enough.
Yeah, it was good.
Grip.
It was good. So, it worked well. But I think what I also love is just the way Jodie at the beginning can do that almost.
She went
literally.
That was her.
Where she
made herself go that close?
Yeah,
totally.
Wow.
scary.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Weird.
How she does it, and also her eyes are like, ugh. She's just like, she's amazing.
There's
I
no
think she's
pressure at
practiced that when
all
she was
being
younger.
put on her throat.
No,
She's
she
just
did
doing that.
herself.
I love how she surprises you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.